Hey guys, Dave Lee coming at you once again with another Blu-ray review video. Thanks to my amazing friends over at Universal Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, we'll be taking a look at the brand new re-release of Jaws on 4K Ultra High Definition. It is of course the very first time the movie's been released on this format, and it is to celebrate its 45th anniversary. Can you believe it? It's been 45 years since Jaws splashed onto cinema screens around the world. Of course, the Australian edition comes in this beautiful little standard set right here. I love the artwork that's been used on the cover. There are numerous different editions available around the world, so wherever you are, you can look into it online, find out what versions are available nearby to you. We will be taking a look at the Australian edition in this video, of course, but the contents of it are exactly the same worldwide. Now, in Australia, it's been released in this standard set, as I said, and it comes with a 4K disc right here, and also a second Blu-ray disc right there. The movie is on both discs, and special features are spread across both as well. In this video, I'll be briefly touching on my thoughts of the movie itself. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'll then be talking about my thoughts on the transfer that's been used, the master, the brand new 4K master of the film, and I'll also briefly touch on the special features that are included in here as well. Guys, as always, before we get into this, don't forget to hit that like button. It does wonders in getting my content out there. And also weigh in down in the comments below with your own thoughts on the movie Jaws and the 4K edition of this if you have it. What are your thoughts on it? Look, guys, there is a lot to get into here, so let's do it. Let's get into it. Jaws is one of cinema's most iconic films, a highly ambitious production led by a soon-to-be legendary Steven Spielberg, tackling his second ever theatrical film, one that was larger in scope and scale than almost anything else being produced at the time. So spectacular and groundbreaking, the film went on to break box office records and spawned the term blockbuster, with crowds quite literally queuing around the block to catch a peek of the film in cinemas. It also happens to be one of my favourite films of all time, and one that I have revisited 100 times over, and it continues to be as gripping, terrifying, and as haunting as ever before. The film is an absolute masterclass in suspense and tension, and an incredible subversion of the horror genre, with a majority of the film taking place in broad daylight, with a monstrous villain lurking in plain sight, though remaining unseen until the final act. Much of the film rides on the back of incredibly eclectic performances from Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Robert Shaw, the direction of Steven Spielberg, the haunting score of John Williams, and of course, the stunning cinematography of Bill Butler. In celebration of Universal Pictures' 100th anniversary in 2012, the studio launched an initiative to fully remaster 13 of its classic films in 4K. Jaws was one such film chosen to receive such a treatment, with Universal's technical operations team re-scanning the original 35mm film elements in 4K and completely restoring the visuals from the ground up. Additionally, remixing the film's soundtrack in 7.1 surround. This master was originally released on the 2012 Blu-ray, but has now found its rightful place on the 4K format, which finally delivers the film in the greatest and truest possible quality. If you've seen the 2012 Blu-ray, you'll know that the master was an absolute knockout, and one of the format's most reference quality discs, as far as back catalogue is concerned. However, Jaws' 4K re-release delivers an even more incredible presentation that is absolute leaps and bounds above the somewhat compressed and limited HD release. Film clarity here is one of the most obvious improvements, with a crisp, crystal clear image in most sequences that look as if they were shot only yesterday. Close-ups of faces reveal the most intimate of details, right down to facial pores, and large sweeping vistas look as good as anything shot in native 4K for a BBC natural history documentary. Ocean waves are lifelike and glistening, looking as if they could pour from your screen at any moment. One of the two major differences between this new 4K release and the original HD Blu-ray release is the application of HDR, with the film given a true Dolby Vision presentation. Colours are stellar here. The dark blues of the ocean are beautifully deep, and the light blues of the sky are stunningly vivacious. Skin tones are wonderfully natural, but at the same time equally as vibrant and punchy. The HDR also adds gorgeous tones to darker scenes, with deep black levels that add add to the film's atmospheric nature. Film grain, also an enormous element in regards to the film's atmosphere, remains intact entirely here, giving the movie an overall filmic look, just as it must have in cinemas 45 years ago. The other difference between this new release and the old is the addition of yet another sound mix, with the film given a large, thundering Dolby Atmos soundtrack, which not only bolsters dialogue and ambience, but adds enormous depth and layer to John Williams' simplistic yet effective score. As far as 4K presentations go, this is absolutely reference quality and simply a must own. Not only as far as back catalogue releases go, but in terms of the format, full stop. As for special features, Jaws is loaded with a bit over 4 hours worth of supplements. Sadly, there's no new material here, so if you already own the previous Blu-ray set, you've already seen this offering. That said, the wealth of material here makes it incredibly obvious that there's probably little more that Universal could serve up to the table. This of course means that the set includes the 2-hour Making of Jaws feature, produced for the 1995 Laserdisc set and subsequently re-released on the 2005 Special Edition DVD and the 2012 Blu-ray, and additionally includes the 100-minute The Shark Is Still Working, the Impact and Legacy of Jaws documentary, originally released on the Blu-ray set. Together, these two documentaries provide a fantastic overview of the film's production and legacy and leave no stone unturned. Unfortunately, while available on both the included 4K and Blu-ray discs, both documentaries are only presented in standard definition, though do see a reasonable uptick on the 4K disc. The set also includes on both discs an almost 10-minute featurette on the restoration process from 2012 presented in HD, as well as a number of archival offerings including deleted scenes, outtakes, theatrical trailers, and behind-the-scenes footage. The Blu-ray also includes a number of photo galleries featuring storyboards, production photos, and marketing material. Despite no new supplemental offerings, this is an exceptional release, with the film's new presentation alone worthy of the price tag. Thanks once again to my jawsome friends over at Universal Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. I will never ever do that again, I promise you guys. But in all seriousness, thanks to my amazing friends over there for sending me in this copy of Jaws on 4K for the purposes of this review. As I said, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it was amazing to experience it for about the 100th time in my life, but in a whole new way like never before. As I said, this transfer is absolutely incredible, and if you're a fan of the movie, or if you haven't seen the movie, I would highly recommend picking this disc up right here. It's the best way to watch the movie. If you haven't seen the film, it's a perfect opportunity to check it out in the best quality possible. A lot of these catalog releases that have been coming out on 4K, especially here in Australia, have had fairly limited print runs and have either been going out of stock or have been becoming pretty hard to get your hands on pretty quickly. So if you want to get your hands on Jaws, I would recommend picking it up as soon as you possibly can. Look guys, as always, don't forget to hit that like button. It does a great deal in getting my content out there. And also, once again, weighing down in the comments below, let me know your own thoughts on Jaws, or if you've got the 4K version of the movie, what were your thoughts on the 4K transfer of it? Look guys, as always, take care, continue to stay safe, continue to stay at home. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. If this is your first time viewing one of my videos and you'd like to see more like it in the future, then please don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen, as well as that like button down below for that little extra support. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.